Good evening. It's the Diehardfan show with yours truly, Cornelius Cole, the people's coach. Starting right up the top, the best that I've seen so far uh, has been the Denver Nuggets. However, the Lakers are playing some basketball. I gotta give them their props. When AD is dominant, they seem to do some things. Um, and then the Phoenix Suns having trouble relying on their starters way too much, and now with the injury of Chris Paul, that hurt them. But Denver seems to be that complete team. They playing together. Jamal Murray is for real. Uh, Aaron Gordon. Um, they just that they playing as a team, and the Joker seems to be unstoppable, which makes me raise the question: how fundamentally sound is the Joker? I mean, he plays so fundamentally sound. Uh, no, hardly any athleticism. Uh, can't really jump. Don't really run that fast, but a dominant force out there when he playing. And right now, he dominating that series, but at least the first two games. But we'll see what happens when the game shifts to Phoenix. But I think Phoenix in trouble, not just because of the Chris Paul thing, which is crazy. Chris Paul hurt again, um, which really not a surprise, but at the same time, could the timing be any worse for Phoenix? But besides Chris Paul, all the other players that have been injured, they all seem to be like main players on teams that's trying to go somewhere. Teams that's trying to do some things, uh, or teams that was in it. From Ja to Giannis to Jimmy Butler, all the big names seem to keep getting hurt. Now Chris Paul, then you got you know. Um, Joel Embiid trying to come back tonight. And just the injuries to the main players. Other than that, uh, you just got to look at it like, whoa. But the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, two veteran teams, it's no surprise that those two teams advanced, really. But kind of shocking that LA win the first game in San Francisco. Um, the Warriors, in my opinion, just took way too many threes. Too many darn threes. It's like uh, they cool when they going down, but when they miss, they show hurt, especially when the other team go down and score. Uh, and when the other team goes down and score consistently, it's like the Lakers hit shots at the right times, and Golden State, even though they made a pretty good comeback, they missed shots. They missed shots at certain times, um, periodically during the game. Um, both teams seem to have this law where they shoot a bunch of bricks, but then the Lakers seem to have more of a game plan attacking the basket. Offensive rebounding is really where it was for the Lakers. 23 rebounds and the four blocks is what was most impressive to me. AD, he did his thing. Get up to add better things. When you put the whole package together that AD is displaying, we've seen it before when he was in the bubble, and I think for Golden State to have a chance in the series, I think they gotta just play their game, go small. They only came up like really, like a shot or two there off from winning the game. Or either they got to find a way to tighten up the defense, which I don't think they can't D up these shots. Um, but Jordan Poole, uh, I think he rushed the shot. in the end, and he didn't have to. Uh, and he shot it from a distance that he didn't have to shoot it from. I think he panicked a little bit, but outside of that, both teams played hard. It was a good game. Good game one. We'll see what game. Well, it was a good game two. I mean, good game one. Sorry, we'll see what they got on the game. Celtics and 76ers. The 76ers stole one the other day, and with James Harden dropping 45, throwback Harden. But I think Philly surprised. I think Philly surprised more than just Boston fans. They surprised me because I thought Boston would have handled them easily without Joel Embiid on the court. And the Celtics started out just going to the bucket. They going to the bucket over and over again, and then they stopped. For some reason in the second half they stopped going to the bucket as much, and Philly was hitting some key shots. Like it was some key 3 pointers. Everybody was participating, and Melton was huge. But tonight we'll see what's gonna happen. Uh, I think Boston tie the series up 1-1 because I just feel like Boston is the better team. They just made a lot of silly turnovers down the stretch of a game that they probably shouldn't have made. But I like what they're doing. Uh, I like so far. Uh, I like so far that Jalen Brown is having an impact early, and then once they get the ball to Tatum late, then Boston will be all right. I think that's the winning formula right there. Um, let Tatum become the playmaker in the fourth quarter, and but sometimes they tend to go away from that. Or if you're not going to go to Tatum, then at least have excellent ball movement. I mean, but it's a stagnant offense at times that you see from the Celtics. I mean, they play well. They've proven they can play together. They've proven they can play the one-on-one game. But then sometimes they just get sucked into the jump shot game, the one-on-one jump shot game, and they get into those pitfalls where they don't score for a minute. Uh, and they have to play extra hard on defense, and the aggression, the fouls, blah blah blah. Uh, but I think the Celtics will be all right. I think they'll win tonight, 6-5 early. So it's just really starting. But um, Philly, they surprised me. They playing some good ball. I'm surprised. I called out Tobias Harris, saying what he was going to do in the playoffs, and he living up to the bill so far, putting up points, being effective on the defensive end. The things that he should have been doing for a long time. But he bringing it a little bit now. Uh, but no doubt with Joel Embiid at 100%, they're a different team. But I think Philly, I still think Boston is the better team. I think Philly's just gonna come up short. That's just how I feel about it. They might prove me wrong. I've been wrong all this time. I mean, that's all I can say is I've been wrong all this time. But then you look at Dylan Brooks getting let go by Memphis after Memphis talked all that noise, and they didn't bring, like they wanted all the smoke, but they ain't bringing none with them. I don't know. I guess they just couldn't handle the pressure or something because Memphis cracked. And after that cracking, it's just Dylan does need to change his or something. Maybe he does need to uh, go somewhere else, new environment. Still bring. Uh, I like his energy sometimes in games, but when things ain't going his way, his energy changes. You got to stay that upbeat person. Once he learns to level it out and be at that high level and all the time, and just go all out all the time. Don't worry about. Don't get your head down when your shot ain't falling and stuff like that. Just keep playing. Then it'll be a difference. But But so far, I'm really liking what I'm seeing in the 2023 NBA playoffs. Uh, I'm liking the refs not really impacting a whole lot of games except for here or there. But I was on one team, I was on the other team. It's kind of crazy the way that the way that the games are refereed. The Lakers shot a lot of free throws. The Golden State Warriors did not, and Golden State was at home. Like sometimes, I guess it's just the teams, but the Lakers were a little bit more aggressive. They were the more aggressive team. They were the more pressing team. They kept attacking the basket every chance they got because they know Golden State really can't do much when they down there attacking the basket. But and then on the other end, they were blocking shots, quite a few blocks. I mean, the Lakers' defense is impressive. I was on the fence about Darvin Ham, and I'm still a little bit on the fence. But at the same time, I think Darvin Ham doing. I think he doing wonders with what he was getting. When they were losing, it was like, oh man. But then the trades happened, and then they got a little bit better, and it's like now you starting to see his vision, and it's like, whoa. I guess it's pretty good. He doing his thing. Um, but the dismissal of the Kings didn't have a disappointing season. They played all right. They gave it all they had. Steph dropped 50. Um, Man, and with the exception of last night, Steph been shooting right around the 50% mark. Balling. I think that's going to continue. I think I think everybody gonna get tired though, as far as all the old heads in the series. The young legs probably gonna have it through stretches. I would like to see Golden State play Gary Payton a little bit more because he brings that energy, offensive. He on the offensive glass. He in the passing lanes. He trying to block shots. He trying to do a little bit of everything out there. So I like Gary Payton. I think he should play just a little bit more uh, during certain stretches of the game, uh, and I think that'll help Golden State out, uh, especially with like that unexpected. It's one thing to have that expected defense, but that unexpected defense because sometimes his steals. Watch him the way he plays. Sometimes his steals and his blocks and stuff come in like unbelievable manners or unconventional manners because it's like he ain't even supposed to be down there, but he come out of nowhere and block that, or he ain't supposed to be reaching way over there, but he reaching over there to make that steal. So I just like the way he's played. The young man got quick hands, um, and he plays above the rim. Like he ain't afraid to dunk the ball. I just wish sometimes when he goes to the bucket before and it's like forget the layup, he should go to dunk all the time. Is what I'm trying to say. Uh, but I like that at Jordan Poole. It was it's his chance to shine, and he's showing here and there. He ain't really been consistent. Um, Golden State got those issues, but other than that, and Clay, um, he ain't really been consistent. But I think him and Steph, they understand what needs to be done, and they'll get it done. Draymond too, got to throw Draymond in there, but I think they'll do what they need to do to get it done. At least make the series a series. It's going to be a fight to the end, I think, because I think Golden State come back and get the next game. But I don't know though. The Lakers might be trying to deliver the blow, and AD might not be trying to play with them. But I've said it all along that AD is a dominant player. He one of the best. And now a quick shout out to Nerd Focus Energy Drink, and a shout out to Fancy Lips Cosmetics. Check them out at fancylip.com. Fam brand, check them out at fam.brand. On IG, they got all the hottest gear. Uh, So, uh, another thing I was thinking about NBA, excuse me, is who are the best uh, duos. Some of the best duos. You got Tatum and Brown. You got the Splash Brothers. Uh, you got Joel, and you got Harden. Uh, I guess if you wanted to say Miami had it, it would be Butler and Adebayo, but I don't know if they really got the two-man thing down. Because Adebayo suspect in my mind on that list at least. But uh, some of the better duos throughout NBA history. It just got me to thinking. Booker and KD right now. Um, the Joker and Murray. I mean, I think a lot of teams got that 1-2 punch. Are they trying to have that 1-2 punch? Uh, so go to uh, but a team like Denver, it could be multiple people because of the way that the Joker passes the ball. Man, he's very clever with he's clever with the rock. I mean, I can't say enough about him. But Joel Embiid did win MVP, so congrats to him for that. But it's really no surprise that he won the MVP. Figured that they would go ahead and give it to Joel. Um, Not that he didn't earn it, but it was about time, and it makes me think that a player as skilled as Joel Embiid for his size and everything, a different, like in this era has got to be one of the most captivating in terms of performers in the league, and the ability alone is way different than any other era before this one. Like, um, this is like uh, dynamic watch these these great players night after night. Uh, like I said, watching the Joker, man. Even though like he's graceful out there with the thing he does, and it's very simple and fundamentally sound. Um, but puts on the show. I mean, it's really something to watch. Um, you know, uh, KD and Booker, you wonder what they're gonna do, or which one of them gonna go off or whatever. There's so many different players that um, has been performing, but at the same time, you want to see the ones, and it's good to see LeBron and stuff. I didn't predict this. I didn't think that this would be the matchup, but this is what it is. But it's no surprise in the long run because they two veteran led teams uh, who understand what it takes to win it all. So one I'm going advance, the other one not, to be determined. But like I said, I think it's going to be a pretty good series all the way to the end. And the Lakers are a team that not known for their shooting. I thought the Lakers wouldn't shoot as well, but but when you're getting layups at the rim, that adds to your percentage. Not you saying, I'm just saying, like they earn that, and then then they hit timely threes. Excuse me. They hit timely threes. They hit the threes at the right, you know, at the right moment. Whether it was to keep them in the game, or whether it was to put them ahead, or whether it was just to break the game even. They found ways to hit buckets when it counted the most. Uh, yeah, I just think Looney's a weak. Well, Looney he gonna play as hard as he can, but he can't really do nothing against AD. Uh, Nothing that the Warriors throw at AD is gonna change the perspective, but I still think the Warriors got a good chance to win the game. Just because Lakers can't hit shots, then that's gonna play into Golden State's favor in a game or two. I think that's going to be the difference because I don't know if the Lakers can shoot, but they can prove me wrong. They can shoot game after game. Like I said, I've been wrong before, so I might be wrong again, but you don't know. And speaking of wrong, now just wrong was the Boston Bruins got everybody hyped. Got me on the bandwagon, got everybody on the bandwagon because they supposed to, they set a record they set an NHL record in the regular season for wins and goals or whatever, and points or whatever, and then turn around and uh, lay an egg in the playoffs. Got beat in the first round, taken out of there in the first round. Man, all you could do is shake your head at that. It's like, wow, what a letdown. And I was wondering where they up there with the Warriors, 73-9. Uh, the Patriots going 18-0 and then losing the 19th game. You know what I'm saying? So it ended up 18-1, coming up short in the Super Bowl. Um, the Bruins, even though they didn't make it all the way to the finals or whatever, and then lose. Um, the fact that they lost in the first round, and they were up 3 games to 1, so they had a chance to close it out. They had several chances to close it out and could not close it out. So um, it's just how that ball bounces sometimes. But uh, hats off to the Bruins. They did their thing in the regular season and just couldn't get it together, or it just wasn't their time in the playoffs or something. I mean, but they still had an impressive season. It's still one for the history books, so it's nothing for them to hang their head about. Um, Other than the fact that if they had championship aspirations, I don't know. The Kraken silently winning. The Kraken might be an expansion team that comes in and wins it all. And if they win it all, I think it's like they first or second season in the league, like first season in the league. That would be crazy. It would just be crazy if the Kraken won the Stanley Cup already. It's just something to throw out there to be looking at for those that follow hockey. Um, I think his name was Pavelski or something. He scored Pavelski or something. I don't know. I can't say his name, but he scored a bunch of points, 4 goals, and then his team lost though. So but he still scored 4 goals. I mean, he definitely brought it. He definitely tried. You know, Poor goalie on the other end. Your guy give you 4 goalies and y'all lose. I mean, give you 4 points and y'all lose. Poor goalie. You know what I'm saying? How you lose that one? Nah, I'm just playing. Um, but hockey has been entertaining. Uh, different things that to highlight. Like I just said, the 4 goals by the one guy. Um, but outside of that, it's about the underdogs winning and the surprises, like being there in the first place. So I'm silently pushing for that whole Kraken idea, though. That would be dope. So another shout out to Nerd Focus. Get your brain right and game tight with Nerd Focus. So um, NFL draft, man. I don't know where to start. NFL draft. Let's see. The winner, in my opinion, of the whole thing. We'll start there with who I feel like won that draft. Uh, Philly came out on top, in my opinion. And as a Cowboy fan, I hate to say that, but I think I've said it on him before. Philly is trying to build a dynasty. I see the moves that they making, and people saying, "Oh, they picked them all from one college or whatever," but it doesn't matter. They trying to build a dynasty. They go and get those. They go and get those young, younger players. They go and get those hungry players. And they getting geared up for the season, but for the future, they're trying to set themselves a while. Uh, so that's why I say it could be a dynasty in the making with the Philadelphia Eagles. I sure hope not. As a Cowboys fan, I hope we got something to say about that. You know, uh, that would be my idea that we would have something to say about it. But hmm, you know, season ain't even close yet. Like, but it's getting closer, but it's not close enough. Getting ready The training camps and all that stuff will be coming up. But then, we'll see what's the what, but we won't really get a telltale until things really kick off way down the line, like in September or whatever. So, in the interim, all we can do is speculate. But the other big winner, to me, from the draft, the Houston Texans did all right. Um, they they got some good picks. I gotta give it to them. I must say they really surprised me getting the second and the third pick. Uh, I think more of a surprise for me um, was Joey Porter being available to go to the same team that his dad played for. What I'm saying? Uh, Pittsburgh. So I thought that was I thought that was pretty cool. That was alright. But Joey Porter Jr. doing his thing out there. He gets a shot. Uh, Talk about walking in your dad's footsteps. I mean, they don't play the same position, but um, it kind of does symbolize that tradition or something. Like I think there's got to be a special moment to be drafted by the same team. You know what I'm saying? Both father and son drafted by the same team. That's pretty dope, and I'm sure that doesn't happen that often. Uh, I can't think of any right off the top of my head in football that could really rival that. But you get into that time when um, lies and lies of kids and former players uh, have so much talent. The seem like the kids from my generation of the famous athletes didn't really have what these have. I mean, you're looking at Bronny, you seen Talker Melo's son, playing. Um, got another Manning coming up. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's just um, a little bit on the entertaining side to really just examine that up close, look into that whole perspective right there. Just where the kids of some of these players, nowadays are much better than the kids of players in my generation. I guess at least that's the way I see it. Um, but like I said, it really shouldn't be about comparing errors. I know that we all do, and it's going to continue to be done. But football is still a great sport, even with the changes, even with some of the rules barring the defense from really. And I ain't saying you gotta just go knock a person's block off or whatever, but I'm saying like the defense gets held to such high standards, and it's you know, it is if it was just a little bit more lax, the rules on the defense was a little bit more lax. I'm not saying let them grab, let them push, on the outside with the receivers and stuff, the pass interference, but it is a lot of pass interference on uncatchable balls. At least admit that some of the passes were uncatchable and not throw the flag or pick up the flag. At least allow them to pick up the flag if it was deemed to be, you know, uncatchable or something. They should make that a challenge or something, man, because you know that's a ridiculous aspect of the game. But watching the XFL and seeing how um, their brand tries to highlight um, the coaching staff, all the things that go on the sideline. You listening to the play calling from, the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, you listening to that there. I mean, it's doing that um, too far. Really, the focus should be on the players. They're the ones out there on the field. I know that the coaching is a part of it, and I love coaching. Hey, I'm the people's coach, but I think that when you showing me on TV it should be mostly about the players. It's cool to hear a little bit about the coaches. No disrespect to the coaches. I know coaches want to get their shine too, but the way for a coach to shine to me is to win, man, win it all. Or you know, go flip a team around, take a team that was at the bottom, start making the playoffs on a regular assignment, working your way up, like you at least like you going for a Super Bowl or something. Some teams don't ever look like they going for a Super Bowl, but now one of them teams that looked like they was never playing for nothing, the Jets. Maybe they was playing for something all along, or maybe what I'm saying, the changing of the guards over there just made everything seem much better. But um, the Jets seem like they really want to win with the moves that they make. It. I don't know if it's going to pay off. But as I already said, I don't think it's going to pay off, no matter what they do. But they Kyle signed a deal with them, so now they got Lazard, Randall Kyle. They getting pretty much everything Aaron Rodgers wants on his wish list. So no surprise that they accommodated him. But to go back to winners, um, I don't know what I rank what we did as a Cowboy fan. I don't know where I ranked that amongst, but it was all right. I think we did better with the linebacker from Texas. I think we did all right with. I think we did all right taking the defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. Um, Maybe we've always had success with tight ends, no matter where we've seen the got them from. So maybe tight end shooting Micah, maybe he'll make a difference, or maybe Hendershot will be that person. We got a couple of we got a few options at tight end. So um, I just think that we can. I just think that we can um, do better. I think we could have did better. Excuse me, if we would have focused it, just a little bit harder on uh, early on. I like the defensive tackle move. And then that's cool. Second round to the tight end, and then got linebackers. We pretty much got everything that we needed. But I thought maybe we would have went more speed. The game is fast now. Uh, we got a linebacker that may be swift to try to add to an already fast paced defense, but the game is about speed right now. And on the offensive side, you know, um, I know Pollard has speed, but you know, CD Lamb, I don't know if he got that breakaway. He didn't really show no breakaway speed. You know, throughout the season, maybe. So that's where we gonna get that speed from. Cooks got a little bit of speed, but I don't know. Cooks getting up there. Like Cooks getting up there in age. Let's just put that out there. He's no spring chicken out there. So we'll have to see what. Uh, I would have liked us to try to at least get some speed uh, on the offensive end. But we did what we had to do. Apparently, like I said, I trust Jerry with his picks most of the time. I like what he did. I like him making the picks. The I like to think that the Chicago Bears. I think they really uh, didn't. I don't think they won as far as first trading out of spots, dropping down and being willing to give up the spot. They gave up a nice spot to the Eagles, and dropped down. So yeah, I don't know what they're saying. I look at that and I say, man, are they really trying? They not really trying to win like immediately, huh? They what they got? They on a 5 year plan or something. They gonna get Justin Fields killed out there if they don't go ahead and put something together. It's like, what y'all doing? I don't understand their strategy. Like I didn't understand the Bears strategy. You should be trying to get the greatest offensive lineman in the draft or something. You should be trying to get something like just didn't did. Uh, but I think Chi-Town not setting themselves up for success. Like the Lions getting rid of Swift, making some moves, losing players in free agency. I don't know if the Lions are going to be that same hungry team. I know you said Dan Campbell, but I don't know. You starting to get rid of pieces that were um, decent for you, that were working out for you. You getting rid of pieces that seem to be working out for you. You're losing pieces. I don't know if they're gonna be the same squad that was right there on the cusp, or if they still just gonna be right there on the cusp. I repeat again, how long we're gonna get the Lions to get their stuff together? Because when I look at it, you look at it in the NFL, the Jets. Uh, the Jets have the longest drought of making the playoffs right now, but the Lions haven't won a playoff game since 1990 something, like over 30 something years. So when you start looking at it, yeah, they ain't won since like 91 or something. So, like it'd be monumental for either one of those teams to go far in the playoffs. The Jets haven't went in a long time. They were in the AFC Championship games quite a few times or a few times or whatever in the past when it was like Rex Ryan as the coach, and you know um, they had some highlight moments playing with Mark Sanchez, as a matter of fact, as a quarterback. So early on, Mark Sanchez before the infamous butt fumble or whatever that he became famous for after a while. But I think um, I think something's gonna have to shift for some of these teams to be worse on. Like the Lions, they can shift their mentality, but can they shift the performance when it all comes down to it on the field? I think when you're relying on a lot of young people in key places on the field. Um, I think you're gonna struggle a little bit. We saw that with Aaron Rodgers last year in Green Bay. We saw that struggle. But you're bringing in the teams that's bringing in the young quarterbacks. I'm wondering, are they gonna start them right away, or are they gonna make them sit behind whoever? Um, and the reason why I say that is that I think for certain quarterbacks on the field training, it'll work for you. Like, and I think for some, the sit-in is necessary. But the two top picks, they should be ready to go right away. I think if you start either one of them, you should be all right. But you never know, because um, I can't picture C.J. Stroud sitting behind Davis Mills or whatever his name is for the Texans. I just can't. I can't really see that. And then you look at. Um, you look at the Panthers taking Bryce Young overall. I think Bryce Young. I think he's gonna start right off the rip. I don't know what they're gonna do. Sit him behind Sam Darnold. Do they still have Sam Darnold? Uh, what they gonna do? Sit him behind someone? I think those two are ready. Now, when you get past those two, Richardson, I don't know if I would start him right away or if I would sit and just wait and see. Uh, and I say that because I just don't think he's as ready as the other two or as seasoned as the other two. I think I think this whole Richardson thing is a rush. Um, but hey, he was in the draft. He got drafted. But and the whole Will Levis thing, um, that was embarrassing to watch him sit there that long. But hey, it happens. It happens. It's like didn't get picked in the first round. Uh, got picked early second round. What is Will Levis? I don't know if it's gonna be that big of a deal. I think Tannehill. I don't think he's gonna beat Tannehill out for the position. I think Tannehill has an edge because I think Mike Vrabel really likes Tannehill. So I think that's why Tannehill has been in Tennessee as long as he has because apparently the coaching staff likes what they got in a quarterback. So it's gonna be hard for somebody just to get because injury to Tannehill, which injuries happen to him kind of frequently when you really think about it. But it's Tannehill. It's Tannehill's job to lose in my mind. I don't see Will Levis just jumping that bitch. You never know. Uh, if I'm Will Levis, I come in with a chip on my shoulder. Maybe I'm all upset. I'm ready for I'm ready for what they say. I'm ready for all the smoke or whatever. I'm ready for whatever they bring. Um, I think I think Will Levis will get some playing time this year because, like I said, Tannehill gets injured, so we will see him on the field at some point. Uh, don't know if it'll be permanent or just temporary, but I don't see him starting just because of the whole situation with the Tannehill. But um, I don't know if he's going to be as good a quarterback as as they were hyping it up to be. And I think that was a part of the wait. And let's see if he's still there in a later round scenario for the Tennessee Titans or whatever. You know, we'll just we want to uncut to it. So I don't know if the belief is there or how good he is. I think he'll definitely have to be one that's going to have to prove everything he has every step of the way. But the biggest surprise to me was Tampa Bay didn't take a quarterback. I was tripping that Tampa Bay didn't take him. like, I was like Tampa Bay didn't want a quarterback. Like, I guess they saying they good with Baker Mayfield is shocking, really shocking. That uh, Tampa let Levis just stay that they must didn't really feel like he was their guy or it was any other quarterbacks that they wanted in that draft after after the top three went because Tampa, what a surprise! But um, I'm not mad that Baker Mayfield getting another shot, but really Baker Mayfield, man. Unless they got something else on their sleeve, you never know what Tampa's gonna do. Nah, I think that's it. I think they saying that they'll give Baker Mayfield a shot to run that offense. And I don't know. I don't know. It seems like with Todd Bowles, they just making different decisions than they would if Bruce Arians was still the head coach. I don't see Bruce Arians really saying yeah to Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? Overall, for his starting quarterback. So I don't really see Bruce Arians doing that. I see Bruce Arians trying to land either the next young arm slinger, gunslinger out there or something, or the or a veteran that he knows, what I'm saying, that's reliable. But how many veterans out there, on the market reliable? And that's the thing is that you don't really have many. Um, but most teams are set at quarterback, and when you look at structures like the Colts, um, it's like who's going to start for the Colts? Like so maybe they will just start Richardson right off the rip. But I guess I didn't think about they don't have Matt Ryan anymore. Um, and really, what was his name? Sam Ellinger. He just wasn't. Sam Ellinger just wasn't as good uh, as he was, as a college player, of course. But I'm just saying, like he wasn't really ready for the moment when the moment came to him. He really just didn't seize that moment or do anything special to stick out to hold a position. In fact, the team didn't even perform that well. Well, they wasn't performing well, no matter who was behind the center, though. So you can't just say it was Ellinger, but coaching when you fire a coach and then you got an interim coach and all that, the boat was a little rocky for the coach. Maybe they even that out, and maybe they'll do better. Uh, maybe they'll do better, and maybe they will. Maybe they will start Richardson right off the rip. I mean, I didn't really think about that for the coach, but I also think the I also think that Willie Anderson, those two dudes are going to be a huge difference. I already told you, Joey Porter Jr. I think he gonna make a lot of noise. Zay Flowers for the Ravens, he might have a great rookie season. if he gets on the field. Like once if he's on the field, he might have a great rookie season just because he's playing with OBJ. He could be the guy when OBJ is attracting all of the attention. He could light them up. So that could probably work out right there as far as receivers. I like Addison. I think he went to the Minnesota Vikings. You catch passes in that offense. Kirk will throw you the rock, but I don't think it's going to strengthen their team any. Minnesota gonna have the same problem that they always had. It's just like they just always seem to find a way to lose a big game. Whether it's offense don't show up, whether it's turnovers, whether it's defense can't stop nobody. Something's always wrong with Minnesota. I can say the same for quite a few teams. It's like the same for my Cowboys right now. Something's always a little bit off. This year was the quarterback. And the year before that, it was always something. Um, it was just like for me, it's always been one team effort for the Dallas Cowboys. Like me being a fan, I see like we could play harder at certain times, and sometimes I feel like we just like as a team. I say we, but it seems like they just go out there and be like, "Hey, we the Cowboys, we showed up," and expect another team to roll over. I see that sometimes the whole nonchalant approach, and it's like uh, that's one of the things that's most frustrating as a fan to be like, oh man, they just not, like they just not giving it they all consistently. You know, um, I think that's what separates us from the top tier teams, and I think that's our problem when we end up playing against the San Francisco 49ers or somebody good like that, like somebody championship worthy, or even even the Eagles. I know we beat the Eagles the second time, but they didn't have Hurts. But the Eagles with Hurts are like that. That's where the bar is. That's where the bar is. Like they made it to the Super Bowl, so they the NFC champs, and then our division. So how we gonna overtake that is what I think about Dallas. Like those are the things that's one thing that we got to do first to really set things off. And another thing we got to do is we gotta not get beat on the back end, like I know it's gonna be some passing yards because of the way the game is played these days, but at times, we give up too much yardage because we take stuff. Hopefully, the defense has matured a little bit. Diggs and everybody that's going to be back there. Hopefully, we have a mature bunch that don't bite on so much and get burned over the top. Uh, Me as a fan, that's one of the things that hurt my nerves when you get burnt. When you get burnt, it's like they pay you not to get burnt. like you should not get burnt. Secondary, uh, you should not get burnt. Like get beat maybe every now and then, but you in the picture, right? Like this guy ain't smoke you. Like it's not a gap between and the falling for the fakes and stuff. But I just think we're a little bit. I think we were a little bit aggressive at the wrong times in certain games, and then a little nonchalant in others where and then lazy tackling and stuff like that. Like those things always get on my nerves. But like the better teams don't have that. The better teams come out prepared, no matter who's on the field. It seems like. Uh, they going all out. Or it could be just my eyes, or it could be just the way I see things. But I think that the better teams, they don't lack those things, and so it's not something that they can just turn on or whatever. Turn on and turn off is like you either there or you not. And I think it comes down to I think with all that and the focus is for execution. It's for the better execution. It's like uh, some of the more take Philadelphia. Hurts ran a lot, but it wasn't just about Hurts running. It was a threat of him running when he dropped back to pass that kept the defense is off balance, and not only that, but the accuracy of the passes and being on the money, but and not throwing for a whole lot of yardage, but running and throwing for quite a bit of yardage combined. I think their offense was genius when they had to rely on the receivers. They were able to rely on the receivers, and the receivers delivered. That whole team was that whole team was good, and we know how good the defense was. And you saw the defense knocked out the 49ers, both quarterbacks. You know, they had Christian McCaffrey taking snaps, so um, the defense was pretty good. But then their defense, they weren't disappointed in the Super Bowl, so maybe they learned the lesson. But like I said, they looking like they built something. The Eagles look like they built to run things for a while. The 49ers have been that team as far as like the 49ers have been more consistent. You've seen them take on different teams, but the 49ers keep going to the NFC Championship game. They made it to one Super Bowl, but it's like they always right there. So those two teams are the teams everybody in the NFC should be gunning to overthrow or to take out, because no doubt you're probably going to have to run into those two teams later on, or in the playoffs, period. You might have to run into those two teams because they seem to be. They seem to be getting there, like the Eagles, 2 straight years for them as far as making it, but making it to the Super Bowl, uh, that's a huge leap from where they started. And then you look at San Fran. San Fran has been, the last 3, 4 years, or maybe 5 years, San Fran's just been right there. Like, for them, it seemed like it's second round or deeper when they make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It's divisional round or NFC Championship game. It's like San Fran, but I think San Fran proved that they can do it without um, just one specific quarterback. They were able to piece in quarterbacks throughout the season, and they luck just ran short in the playoffs. But that's what happened when you're short-handed. Like, there's no, there's no knock to the 49ers. They seem like they're gonna be tough, and they seem like they're gonna be around for a while. But with those two teams up here, it's gonna be hard for any other teams to get in, I think. But I think, but you've seen uh, other teams come from the outside and beat the 49ers, and and can go on and win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So, like the Rams did that. They beat the 49ers, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. You know, um, I just look at it, without the Chiefs' dominance, the NFC has had pretty good chances to win the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl not long ago. The Rams just won it, you know, and then you guys got the Chiefs. So you subtract the Chiefs from the equation, then you never know how many, more teams would have Super Bowls right now. But then you look at Philly, they got one Super Bowl, um, but and they act like they've got multiple, but it's more recent. And right now, what they building is something that could potentially get multiple. So I keep mentioning that because as a Cowboy fan, I'm still disappointed in that. I'm so disappointed in the fact that I'm sitting there watching the Eagles build a dynasty, and I'm like, where we at? What are we building? Are we at least building for one year? Like, are we gonna go all in on this year? What are we doing? I was just waiting to see what we doing, but then it's like it's hard to see what we doing because um, we just did we didn't move the wild needle like these other guys did. Like, they moved the wild needle. Uh, I just feel like getting Jalen Carter, then going back and uh, beefing up their defense in more ways, way more ways, than really expected. It's like the nerve of that, the nerve of that organization. Cowboys, we gonna really just take that line down. Like, what what we gonna do? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But Um, before I get out of here, uh, I was talking last week about um, players, the athleticism, but interesting question came up about athleticism. Uh, more athleticism, the athleticism taking over fundamentals, outruling fundamentals sometimes. Because with the NBA, I see a lot of um, jumping in the air, dribbling down with nowhere to go, jumping in the air, and then trying to make all these passes. And sometimes when the passes make it, it's a cool pass, and then but a lot of times the ball is stolen, and it's like just pure athleticism. Is relying on the athleticism. Is that hurting the fundamentals of the game? I talk the Joker having great fundamentals, but then you see a lot of undisciplined and lack of fundamental and lack of fundamentals on certain plays that is like wow for real like simple box outs like I watch it and it's like how can you not box him out like you right there like how you let that guy just jump right around you like why were you not in position to and a lot of tips I think tipping the ball see just athleticism I can't get but just tipping the ball I think that right there like that's a cheesy way to get a rebound. They count that as a rebound when a guy tips the ball out. It's like what he ain't even, he just tapped it. He ain't even grab it. Like I thought a rebound was a rebound, but I guess that's a rebound. I guess a rebound is tipping the ball out. Um, Interesting way to keep stats, I guess. But when I look at the players, and I look at even football, the athleticism. Sometimes going for the one hand catch takes away from the fundamentals of just sticking two out to make the catch easier or to make the catch completely. Because sometimes when they miss it with the one hand, you're like, hey, you probably could have threw two up and caught it. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes two are better than one. I'm just saying. Like, uh, I don't mind the catches for the highlights, but it's like everybody's doing the catches, and now they allowed to have a little something, something on their gloves, sometimes the gloves stick or whatever, whatever trick they're using to make all them catches look so smooth. But at the same time, those is not using anything, cool with that too. But I'm just saying, they're using something. Um, because it's way too frequent now, and everybody, what I'm saying, everybody is just nah, I just don't see it happening. But you know, it's been practiced more and more. It's becoming so regular in the game that it's not even as impressive as it once was, unless it's that tightrope stuff. That one hand and then barely toes in on the sideline or something. You know, or falling out of bounds or something. Like or in the back of the end zone. You know, in certain scenarios where that one hand catch still, but for the most part, it's becoming like just so regular on all levels. Like uh, watching all the highlights you've seen for everything from high school players to the peewees to it's sort of like the 3 point shot with Steph Curry, right? Um, Everybody wants to shoot threes now. Nobody wants to play down low anymore. No one backing somebody down. I'm that old. I remember when backing somebody down was really impressive. And now these guys cross you up and then cross you back over and then step back and then shoot a three. You know what I'm saying? Like they do all that just to shoot a three. So that's the game nowadays. That's what um, the speed and the athleticism has done is made the game stretch. It stretched the game, uh, and what Steph Curry has done is revolutionized basketball as far as all the shooters that uh, want to shoot like used to shoot mid range. Now they gotta extend their range. At certain times, like you see Kevin Durant, he's always had range, but he shoots a little bit more 3 pointers now than he did perhaps early on in his career. Um, just because that's what the game is now. Everybody's shooting threes, like uh, when they shooting 30, when they shooting 20 and 33s, and then when they not going in, it makes for an ugly game, which was some of the games that we saw between the Lakers and the Grizzlies, where the Grizzlies had all this high-powered offense, but then all of a sudden couldn't hit shots. But the Lakers' athleticism proved to be different. Long, um, extending, blocking shots. You know. Jumping in the way to take charges on time. I mean, it has its effects, but when you see the lack of fundamentals, sometimes it just makes it look funny. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering how many more. How many more years of uh, the lack of fundamentals before we get back to certain fundamentals in the game that's been missing and certain shots. Getting back to the Lakers show that it's all right. The Lakers showed that it's all right to take shots in the paint. It's all right to drive the basketball. It's all right to hit a mid-range shot. In addition to hitting the threes, so uh, I think they've showed sort of next to the Nuggets who make it. The Denver Nuggets ball movement is the whole difference. That has nothing to do with athleticism, but the athleticism is definitely shown with Gordon and some of the shots that Jamal Murray take. So um, again, I ask before I get out of here. Thanks to Sports for America, by the way, and don't forget to check out Nerd Focus energy drink. But I asked the question: uh, Do fundamentals, do fundamentals lack when with athleticism being the main focus nowadays? Have the fundamentals slack? Y'all have a good one.